I get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They said they'll never let me out of lease. Stop all the cap, I'm just tryna see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when today we got no racing.
Sweet. Yeah.
Hold
Red
on.
Boots.
Hold on.
Red Boot episode. Yeah.
Reporting live from the cheat code capital. It's Bootsy
Still,
Collins.
my lines are still, we're trying to get the red boots.
We're trying
Big
to get
red
the
boot.
boots, baby. We're trying to get the boots.
And Kingpin is looking at us crazy.
Nah,
No, he
I'm not
understands.
going to
He
wear them.
understands.
Maybe I'll put them on.
I got
I don't
big
know.
feet.
But they're going to be an aesthetic in my sneaker room.
I think they're a piece of pop culture. So I think if you can get your hands on some, you should.
They look like big red
Exactly.
AirPods.
Yeah, I think they're a piece of pop culture. That's like when,
Aren't they Astro Boy shoes? That's what attracts me.
yeah,
They're
I think
cartoonish.
the cartoonish. I mean, listen, I think
They look like Smurf shoes. You ever seen the Smurfs?
I wouldn't buy
Big
the
red
sweater.
shoes?
I wouldn't
Are
buy
white,
the
though, I
sweater
think.
with the skateboard broken off in the middle and wear it. But I'd buy the boots.
Yeah.
If it was over the sweater with the skateboard in it or the boots, I'd go with the boots. Some things I just, like I don't understand the whole face mask with the spikes out and stuff. But then it's fashion, so it's
Fashion.
It's not for me. You know
well,
what I mean?
it's
Like,
art, like to each his own, right?
yes,
We were talking
absolutely.
about that. What is art?
Right. What is art? Like
What is not art?
That's my question. I understand we're all, artists, and there can be food artists or, painters and poets and clothing designers.
This is art.
Glass blowers.
Big red boot.
Marketing
about
is
that?
an
I'm talking
art.
about the iPhone.
Facts.
Well, and the
Marketing
boot,
is an
to me
art.
is art.
The actual design of the phone, the design of a car, like there are different types of artists, but where does that line become blurred? When what you're making is no longer art? Because if you could say that, any of these things are artists, and the person who designed the atomic bomb was an artist. And a lot of people would say that, the skill and the time and the crafting and the diagrams and everything else, but at some point it was detrimental to what, society, if
To
you will,
humanity.
to humanity, man.
Mhm.
So, is there a line as people that push art, because we push it, we enjoy it. Some of us invest in art, our eyeglasses or art projects or tattoos or clothes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So people that invest in art, where is that line blurred for us? Is there a blurring of that line, or is there like, oh, you're gone too far? And
I
does that
think
make
maybe
not
if
art?
it's detrimental to like life, human life, but then even then you can draw something so opposite and dark in a painting that's still art. I don't know. I think maybe if it has a definition to it, it's considered art. But then maybe not a definition could be a form of art too.
I think it's subjective. We each like what we like and we don't like what we don't like. And there was a judge who made a ruling for the National Endowment of the Arts. Somebody had created art and they said it was pornographic. I think it was Robert Mapplethorpe, the photographer. He was photographing naked gay men.
Naked
and-
America, right?
Yeah, and of course, Middle America got about it. And his ruling was, I don't exactly know what pornography is, but I know it when I see it.
Right.
So I think it's up to each individual person what art is. I have a very artistic eye. Like I notice things that just look good. Sunsets, like I see art in waves hitting a beach. I see art in my friends. I see art in people. I think Little John is art. Like I just see things differently. And I would hate for somebody to tell me something isn't art that I think is art, because I feel very strongly about
Right.
it. I would fight for
Yeah.
it.
As an artist, how would you feel if somebody told you that what you created wasn't art, and you're disguising?
Well, they couldn't.
Or you're hiding, or you're putting up the wall, or you're operating under the premise that you're an artist.
Right.
Like at some point in time, when is it not art, man? How can we compare somebody that goes into a studio and makes a song about killing people and say that that's art, but on the same scale of art is somebody that will create a charcoal painting of the Mona Lisa on the sidewalk using burnt wood?
I'd say then an artist, or what is art, is something that you think in your head and then you create it. It's a creation.
Okay.
So the basic term of what we think of art is someone drawing a picture,
Right.
someone painting a picture, someone making a statue.
Right.
But then we have the musical art where someone thinks of a song in their head, or they create a song. So I just think it is a creation of something.
So can you be Just because you're a musician, does that make you an artist? Hold on, there's a second part to that question.
That's ready to jump on that one.
And if you are, and one of our team, we were talking about this, if you are an entertainer, somebody that doesn't write and record and just goes out there and entertains and performs, are you an artist?
I don't think that's an artist, an entertainer.
Because by definition, you're categorized as an artist by in all the platforms and categories, new artist of the year. Even if you just go out there and perform and sing and dance and they put a microphone in front of you and the words, you're categorized as an artist. But are you in essence of the word artist, an actual artist, if you're not manifesting or creating? And is there a line between what you create being art and or being offensive?
Right. I think this is an age-old question. I mean, this has existed forever, from Andy Warhol taking a Campbell's soup can and saying this is art.
Right.
It's just, it's there's no answer to it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's endless conversation.
It is subjective.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
Yeah.
I went to art school and I sucked at making art. At least I did when I was in art school. But what art school taught me was to take my art form, put it on display in front of the class and the teachers, and let people critique it. So what it taught me was opinion mattered. But to me, opinion doesn't matter. Like when I make art, I'm a glass artist. When I'm designing glass or even clay, ceramics, if I like it, that's what matters. It's I'm not doing it for other people. I'm not doing it to sell it. I'm doing it because I'm getting something out and it's bringing me joy.
But art is not entertainment.
It is for me.
You can find joy or pleasure in enjoying the art.
Right.
But it itself, creating the art may be entertainment. But entertainers entertain.
Do you have a public service announcement, Wendy?
Do we get them?
We got the boots.
We
got the boots.
Yeah.
We got the boots.
Big Red Boot Special.
We got the boots.
Scored.
Mine is still
win.
pending. It's a little line. It's 3 dots
That was
are
David.
going in the circles. Still didn't get it.
It was my favorite hacker.
And listen, the marketing of these boots was
hackers
art.
is art.
The marketing of the
Hacking
boots
is
is
art.
art.
Hacking is art. The boots are art.
The marketing of the boots, the drop of the boots.
The comments under my post of the boots, they're art.
Right. So
They're a riot.
I don't know. I think if you're an artist, that an artist and an entertainer, can they be the same person? Can they coexist?
Yes.
Do you have to
Yes.
be one in order to be the other?
No.
But did we talk about
No. Art is whatever your expression is.
so there is no what is not art then? Correct?
There is to me.
So like if we're saying like something that is not art,
It's
because
a
someone who
perspective.
created this microphone, that's a form of art.
That's
isn't
really
it?
sure is really art.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
art.
the way that the
But what
sound
is
is captured
not?
and
What,
These chairs are art.
That's what I don't even
Yeah.
think anything is not art. I think we're moving around.
It's in the eye
We're
of the
flowing.
beholder. Yeah.
yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I guess that's where I wanted it to be more than that. I really did, and I really wanted to find some type of balance to it because
Some sort of measuring stick.
I was
or
fighting
something.
with that, the last couple of days. I was, I caught myself looking at something and I was like, man, this is beautiful art what these people are creating. And like I saw a lady sitting down and she had a cup of coffee and it looked like she spilt it. And I was like, oh, she made a mess. Why would she make a video about her making a mess?
She
And then she
probably
hits it.
shaped it. Yeah.
And then the next, she pours some more over here and then got some more water and
Yeah.
put it over here. And the next thing you know, she made a painting.
yeah.
And I was like, wow, like how
I
many
love that
mistakes
shit.
had she made before she realized she could do this? Okay, cool. Now she's
True.
perfected it where she can provide entertainment by
Yes.
creating the art.
Mm.
And I
Yes.
just, on the same spectrum, on the complete opposite end, there is whatever is not that,
Mm.
but that somebody would still call art. And how do we categorize that? Is there a need to categorize that? Is it a guilty pleasure? Should I feel bad because I take enjoyment out of listening to some of these things that may be poison? Like I same way I listen. I wake up every morning and I want a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. I want a steak, egg, and cheese bagel from McDonald's. McDonald's, if you're watching this,
Speaking of
are you
poison,
watching this? Bring back the steak, egg, and cheese bagel. Fat people all across America are up in arms about the
Their
steak,
fat
egg,
arms.
and cheese bagel being
They had a steak, egg?
discontinued.
I thought it was
from its-
sausage.
Listen,
It's
pause.
steak?
They have a sausage, but they have a steak. They took it off the menu, and I'm very distraught about it. And I still wake up and I want one. I know it's poison, but I want one. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I don't feel bad
Is
about
that
enjoying
art?
it. But again, hey man, I went to have, shout out to Nana's Chicken and Waffles. I went to a spot the
I had
other day,
Nana's.
and
Nana's
they
is
had the
fire.
big stupid fried lobster. That was art what they put on my plate, buddy. I took like 9 pictures of it. Yeah, the way I enjoyed it and feasted on it. So yeah, but
What's that?
definitely.
Feasted.
But
Shout out to Zach.
So in enjoying what it is that we love and enjoying the culture and enjoying the arts of it, you know, I was balancing that. Like, am I justified by calling some of these people that we work with artists? Is what the content that they're making art? Because art, it would imply that it represents something. Art is an expression. It's all of these things that we all discussed. So when somebody is creating something like, you know, that some of these people may be creating that's in question, the intentions that went behind it, the emotion that went behind it, or lack thereof, does that qualify it as a certain type of art or not? You know, just one of those I smoke a lot and just sitting back, you know, like, hey man, you know, two people are in love and they sit in a love seat. Like, I just, one of those age-old questions, like, what is art? And are we justified by pushing it sometimes? Because some of this stuff, you know, it could be artistic expression, but as much as that steak, egg, and cheese bagel is poison to my stomach, some of these songs, some of these messages, like I was listening to a song that I heard them play on the radio where it was a person talking about they would rather kill the person that they're not with than be without them. And this is the #1 song in the country, and not understanding how mood and emotion are the #1 genres, understanding the emotional state of our society, understanding all of those things, and for society to grab a hold to this record to where it's displayed and prominently played on the radio station, it was just sobering to me.
Right.
Because it was just like, y'all not watching the news? Are y'all not in tune with current events? Are y'all not really listening or in tune with what's going on with society? Is this a message that we want to help convey to the masses?
Right.
So I don't know. Just the age-old question, I guess, you know, trying to find, I love what I do, and I have a purpose for what I do. And sometimes I struggle with that purpose.
I get it.
Speaking of that, dear cheat code, dear Kingpin, I'm writing for Rari anonymously, but I am in a situation. I have been scamming and selling drugs for a very long time, and I'm trying to quit and go 100% clean with music. However, getting a day job will not work because of the type of money I make and or the type of money I need to make to survive. What do you guys think I should do to create some income to fund my music clean so I can get out of the street life?
First of all, that's not the street life. That's computer life. But please.
You know, to say that, you know, I can't get a job because of the money I make now, that means that you are running the risk of being seen in public by somebody who thinks you're this ultra rich player, and you're worried about somebody seeing you for who you are and not buying into that. And to that, I'll say you've already lost the battle, because genuineness, if that's your story, then use that as your story. I'm trying to get out of the streets. I did all of that, and now I'm trying to do right. And understanding that with trying to do right comes those sacrifices. And if you have to, you know, downsize, or you have to itemize, or you have to inventory, you know, look for jobs that may be outside of your market. You know, are you handy? If so, there's a whole bunch of natural disasters that have gone on across the country. You can go to some of these other cities and go sign up and work as, you know, groundskeepers or laborers, or if you're skilled laborer, you can go get you a 60-day contract. Maybe try to get you a degree. Use some of this hustle money and go get you a crane operator's license or something, and go to Texas and duck off for 6 months and stack your chips out there and working in one of these oil fields and get your money so you can come back and then invest your clean money. At some point in time, whatever it is that you're going to want to do is going to require you to get your face out of the limelight. And if you think that by staying in the limelight is the only way that you're going to be successful, again, you're not in it for success. You're in it for fame, for notoriety. You want to be recognized. You want to be loved because of the image that you portray. And what's going to make people love you is you being yourself, my brother. And if you feel that you want to turn a leaf, then there are people that may be able to listen to your music and relate to you and embrace that and use that as their story to help you. I don't know. I don't think, if you're a scammer and you want to get done now, I mean, shit, bro.
I think when the pain of what you're doing becomes stronger than the pain of stopping, that's when you'll stop.
Ugh.
And again, not the streets.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think you got a lot going on. Sound like you were a little far into deep I do suggest that you start looking at what your strengths and weaknesses are, and I think you can figure out a way. If you have been successful at doing this, you can be successful at figuring out a way to legally get some clean
If
money.
you think you're
That's
going to make
what
as much
hustling
money
is,
in
isn't
music as you are scamming people,
like, come on, with
No,
some
you're
merch.
not.
Like,
You'll
what's
never
up with
will,
some
but
merch?
You'll
Like,
never.
start some merch.
it's a false sense of income. You know,
Yeah.
It's very,
it's just
and
not
I'm
realistic.
sure, I'm sure it's very fast, and it has to, you know,
This
yeah.
is a slow. You can make a lot of money in music, but it's a slow build.
It's a slow,
It's a slow
build.
flip.
It's extremely slow, actually.
Yes,
it's a long-term investment. And
I agree.
but
with
it
that.
sure is fun.
the problem with wanting to do it right now is that you're not willing to do it right.
And if you do it right now, the shortcuts that you take are going to be false and very fake, and the results you're going to get are going to be very bad.
Find a business that you're passionate about. Find out what it costs to start a business or buy a business in that field. Hustle till you get that amount of money, and then flip into legal.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out for you, let me know, and I'll send you books while you're locked down.
Chico.
I'm dead serious.
Chico.